Hypixel has grown over time to become one of Minecraft's most notable achievements. With a world record concurrent player count of over 216,000, not only is it Minecraft's most popular server, it was also at one point competing with the likes of Team Fortress 2, Rust, PUBG, and with Hytale on the horizon, the team definitely has a lot of work on their hands. But with all of their successful projects, there also exists the unrealized. The ones that never saw the light of day. Some end up forgotten, others neglected, and some simply abandoned. Today, I'll be taking you through some of Hypixel's most interesting abandoned projects. From unfinished maps, to unrealized technology, to completely revamped game modes you've never even heard of. These are Hypixel's abandoned projects. To be clear, we're focusing on projects that were announced or hinted at in some form but never saw a full public release. Games that underwent testing phases on the Hypixel server are relevant for this discussion, but if a game was fully launched on the server and later removed, it doesn't fit our criteria. Thus, beloved games like Tower Wars and Crazy Walls will not be making an appearance in this conversation. Perhaps we'll explore their stories another time. Before we dive into this intriguing list, a quick note. I'm thrilled to announce that I'm hosting an extensive rank giveaway for Hypixel, which will span the entirety of the fall season, ending in November. Everyone stands a chance to win, so do check out the annotation in the corner to learn how you can participate. Let's commence with one of Hypixel's most legendary unreleased projects, the elusive Herobrine's Mansion 3. Those familiar with the server's history might recall the iconic adventure maps Herobrine's Mansion 1 and 2, which were launched over a decade ago. These maps, along with a few other noteworthy adventures, are credited for bringing significant attention to the Hypixel brand. They primarily served as a platform for solo players to team up and engage in joint adventures. Hints of Herobrine's Mansion 3 first emerged in an early server trailer from June 2013. This teaser showcased glimpses of the map, tantalizingly captioned beta test unreleased maps. Simon, the esteemed network owner and one half of the pioneering Hypixel duo, announced that this would be his final contribution to the Herobrine series. However, with the server's increasingly competitive gaming scene and the waning interest in adventure maps, this ambitious project never came to fruition. The adventure lobby itself eventually faced removal after a revival attempt faltered, but there is a twist here. For Hypixel's 10-year anniversary, an unfinished version of the map was made available for players to explore, albeit without any gameplay mechanics. According to the team, the map has no gameplay, redstone, or any of the to-be-included mechanics. It's just the build to walk around in. To this day, I still wonder how Hypixel planned to end that series, and I hope one day they'll actually reveal how it was supposed to go down, but at least we were able to get the map itself. Next on the list is the Town of Salem inspired arcade game mode. Many will recognize this title as a Mafia-style web game, and some argue it was an inspiration for the popular game Among Us. Avid Technoblade fans might recall his coverage of this game.
Spin the wheel of inaccuracy. Yes, what role will I get?
Back in 2016, Hypixel dropped hints of a new arcade game that bore striking resemblances to Town of Salem. Despite the excitement, the project was unfortunately scrapped. Simon took to a forum thread to quietly but definitively announce that the Town of Salem game mode was indeed cancelled, his reasoning being it was just horrible and non-usable. But as of September 2023, the announcement tweet is still up. So this is a popular one Hypixel players meme about. In the same message, Simon also stated a better version was in the works for the then recently introduced prototype lobby. And my theory is that it eventually became the much more known Murder Mystery, since both involve innocents, murderers, and neutral roles. Very simple. Up next here is Cryptkeeper's 1000-player infinite game mode. Before he was moved from Minecraft to being the senior engineer for Hytale, Cryptkeeper was an admin who frequently did a lot of, well, server stuff. One of his in-work projects while he was an admin was a new technology which was dubbed Infinity. While not much is known about it, it was one of the most tested features on the server at the time, with players just having to type /help Cryptkeeper in lobby while testing was ongoing. And then you'd be warped into a world where you could fight other players, and it was just very weird. When this project was first discovered, a lot of players theorized it could be testing for Hypixel's upcoming new cheat detection, the Beast, now known today as Watchdog. Despite the abundant amount of public testing, very little footage of it can be found today. The technology's intent was never fully described, and we can only gather little from the hints that Cryptkeeper left, such as settings to show players, and the very cryptic line of "they won't start like traditional minigames." The end of this one is a little strange. In the same post from Simon in 2017, he said that the Infinity technology was actually completed, but that the game wasn't great, assumed to be scrapped. He said the prototype lobby will allow some ideas to be tested, and as of now it's the last we've heard of this technology publicly, though I theorize it is actually in use, most predominantly in housing. Plus we have the pit, which is a more complete version of the tested game mode, so maybe this feature isn't truly gone. Continuing on, we have the bridge. Now you guys are probably thinking, what, you mean the one that already exists? I could go play that right now. What do you mean it was abandoned? Look, I'm literally doing it right now. I just 5-3'd a guy. Calm down. So while a version of the bridge is currently available, there is actually an older, very different version as a map that shared the same name. This version seemed to be planned as a defense style game like Creeper Attack, where you had to protect something from waves of incoming mobs, with this mode having a castle. Also advertised with it was a class system similar to Team Fortress 2, free building like the walls, sewer systems around the castle, and resource-heavy islands. This version had a map built by Gamemode, which was Hypixel's old first build team, and it seemed to be planned to release way back in 2012. And it wasn't until 2015 when Simon finally confirmed its cancellation after a user noticed it was still up. Very interesting to think about how this map could have played out. What do you guys think it was going to be like? Let me know down below in the comments. Before we move on to the final game of the video, here are some quickie but interesting honorable mentions. UHC Blitz. Take UHC, take Blitz. What do you get? UHC Blitz, a never-released arcade game mode. In 2014, Simon announced a test to see how the community liked UHC games. According to Simon, the only way to gain health would have been via crafting golden apples and being close to an airship beacon light. Based on this picture, the only one still viewable, and replies, a previous tested unused Blitz map would have been the sole map for this mode. Simon gave quite a bit of info for this game, including confirming there would be no kits, rods would be in chests, a large deathmatch with no lava would be in use, probably similar to what Blitz's deathmatch is now, among other smaller things. The game mode quietly never got released, though I theorize mini walls was what replaced it. Doctor's parkour game. In 2018, Doctor announced on Twitter that he was working on a parkour game mode for the prototype lobby, a statement he reaffirmed a couple of months later. He again assured a few months later that it was not scrapped. 5 years later, I have to assume we're not getting it, though I feel like parkour duels is close to what it might have been. Concluding our exploration, we touch upon TNT Bomber. The TNT games are already kind of crowded enough, but did you know we could have had 6 different games? TNT Bomber was a game where you were trapped in a corner and had to blow up walls to open up more areas. Yeah, this was clearly their version of Bomberman. Some of the walls would have creepers or supercharged creepers behind them that could blow up and kill the player. If you killed these creepers, or if you found other players and killed them, you would gain gunpowder. If you were to die, your gunpowder would be cut in half, and the first player to get 103 gunpowder would be the winner. This game mode had 4 classes, including Archer, Warrior, and 2 Donator classes, Knight and Axeman. This game mode is an interesting story because people were actually able to play this game back in 2013, while TNT Games was being worked on in VIP maintenance mode, with this being one of the only images still viewable from the game, with all video of it seemingly private. According to players who got to experience it, only 9 games were ever played on the server. The reasoning for its cancellation was, according to current technical design lead on Hytale, Codename B, it was dropped in favor of Codename working on Vampires, a current mainstay of the classic games lobby. Plus, TNT Bomber was bug heavy, with one user who got to experience it noting that their session was composed of 13 completely different bugs. Simon would go on in 2014 to briefly mention it was cancelled. In 2019, Doctor, and now former admin, announced a big update to TNT Games, which would include a new game, which according to Doctor, was an old TNT game already in development that was being picked back up again. This very well could have been another attempt at TNT Bomber, but unfortunately nothing ever came of this new TNT game, and with Doctor now out of the picture, we'll likely never see this game mode get a full release. Such tales of unfulfilled game projects always spoke intrigue and wonder. What are your thoughts on these unreleased games? How do you envision they might have played out? I'm eager to hear your opinions in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.